I'm struggling with taking that leap and really squeezing the most out of my time to be able to begin the transition and then jump into being a full-time agent.
So what's the obstacle?
Rejection. I think anyone getting into this space, I think that's the number one hurdle that I'm feeling. The fear of jumping in and just getting the rug pulled underneath my feet and not being ready.
Welcome to Transform with Jason Dries. I'm your host. Don't forget to join me every Monday at 10 a.m. Central for a free mindset alignment. Go to MondayMindsetReset.com. Don't start your week out of alignment. I'll meet you there. On today's episode, I've got an amazing human being with me from Loma Linda, California. Rick Perry is here, 31 years old, married, 4-year-old daughter who he says is a ball of energy, probably keeping him busy. He's in the W-2 world right now, and we're talking about escaping W-2. Rick, nice to meet you today. How are you doing?
Doing great. Nice to meet you as well. Glad to be on.
Excellent. Yeah, glad to have you here. So let's dive in. Tell me more. Like, where are you at? And like, how can I help? Like, let's dive in.
Yeah. So right now, I just got my real estate license this last December. So I'm really trying to find a way to juggle jumping in and jumping out of my W-2 right now, because I'm just kind of I'm ready for my own ventures, I think.
Okay. What is your full-time job right now?
Yes, I'm a project manager right now. I do a lot of sign work.
Okay. So your question is find a way to jump in. What does that mean?
Yeah. So right now I'm struggling with taking that leap and really I guess squeezing the most out of my time to be able to begin the transition and then jump into full-time being a full-time agent.
Okay. And what part of the process, what step are you said you just got your real estate license. What's the next step?
So the next step is going to start being is going to be me building my clientele and getting some traction underneath my feet and moving and getting some calls done. And that's been kind of the biggest hurdle.
You said getting some what done?
Getting calls in. Okay. to build my client base.
As a real estate agent.
Correct.
Okay. So what's the obstacle?
Rejection, probably. I would say that's probably my number one. I think anyone getting into this space, I think that's the number one hurdle that I'm feeling. That I'm feeling is the fear of jumping in. This is the fear of jumping in and just getting the rug pulled underneath my feet. And not being ready.
How long have you been at this spot? Trying to find a way to jump in the game?
Well, we're about 3 months now. I got my license in December of last year, so it's still kind of fresh, but I'm ready to actually use my license. So
is it simply just fear of rejection that's stopping you?
That's what I think. That's what it feels like. But I know there's time management things that I know I need to work on to make sure I can squeeze in the time to calls. But I think that is also me procrastinating that fear of rejection. So I'm like, oh, I could just fill my time with something else.
Okay. So there's one reason that action is not happening right now. And you can call it fear of rejection or getting the rug pulled out from under me, starting something new. Like it's new, it's different. Being a project manager, systems and detail is your world. Real estate agents is communications with other people is kind of the world, right? So it's a shift.
Yeah.
May not be your current comfort zone. Doesn't mean you can't be successful there, but it is by far clearly a growth area for you. So
Correct.
Let's acknowledge right now that the thing that's primarily stopping you is emotions. Would you agree?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Are you afraid of feelings?
Yeah.
Are you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's definitely some fear of, yeah.
Has any feeling prior to now killed you?
No, no,
No,
nope.
you've outlived every feeling. Okay. So let's just acknowledge that you're working a full-time job. You've got a new family that's busy too. So you have, a lot of attention here, and the attention on the new project is kind of on the side. So it's like we're diving into we're doing what we do on the day to day. The little space we have, the little space comes, we're diving into it and we're going, oh my God, we have an emotional reaction. It doesn't feel good because it's new, it's raw. So we end up kind of backing out of that. Right. So I'll say there's nothing wrong with you, right? You're doing something new direction, but there's one way you can completely eliminate all of this emotion. The analogy I will give you is that you're standing on the sideline in the basketball court and you want to play basketball. You're like, basketball looks fun. I'm tired of sitting on the sideline. I want to play basketball. And you're watching the game and it looks fun. And you get up to next to the center line, and you're about to go in the game. And then right before you go in, the guy you're subbing for just got elbowed in the face and his nose just got broken. And you're just like, oh. And the decision that, I may be wrong, but it sounds like the decision you're having is the decision about getting into the game.
Correct.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah. 100%.
Because this is normal. And I recognize this pattern because I've been coaching for so long, right? So right now, the real estate career is really more of a want.
Yeah.
The decision hasn't happened yet, right? You've taken steps.
Okay.
So the thing that needs to happen, the easy way, now we could talk about your beliefs about being in real estate. We could talk about your beliefs of fear of rejection. We could talk about all those things. But right now, the easiest way to get in the game is to remove the option to not get in the game. Because you've been giving yourself the option to not get in the game.
Yeah.
Just like you do not allow yourself the option of not providing for your family. No way. No way. So much certainty right there. If you lost your W-2 job tomorrow, you'd go find another one. You would crank, you'd do this, whatever it took. That's because there's no question about it. The way to make that next jump happen is to have that same level of certainty, and it comes from a decision.
So it's a huge decision.
That's your first thought. Let's make it a little bit smaller. It's just a decision.
Okay.
Say that out loud. It's just a decision.
It's just a decision.
Okay. It does feel new. It does feel raw. It's different. But it's literally your comfort zone expanding. So, do you want to be afraid of feelings, or do you want to not be afraid of feelings?
I'd prefer to not be afraid of feelings.
Would you like me to help you shift that belief?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So repeat after me. I take full ownership of my life and everything in it.
I take full ownership of my life and everything in it.
From this moment onward.
From this moment onward.
I choose to no longer be afraid of feelings.
I choose to no longer be afraid of feelings.
Because feelings are just my indicators of alignment.
Because feelings are just my indicator of alignment.
So I'm going to learn how to get into alignment.
So I'm going to learn how to get into alignment.
Using my feelings.
Using my feelings.
And besides, I've never had a feeling.
And besides, I've never had a feeling.
That's killed me yet.
That's killed me yet.
I choose to believe this 100%.
I choose to believe this 100%.
Past, present, and future.
Past, present, and future.
All versions of me.
All versions of me.
I take ownership of anything contradictory to this.
I take ownership of anything contradictory to this.
And I release it now.
And I release it now.
Breathe.
Okay.
So there's a story I have. I don't know if you've heard my dog food story. If you search Jason Dries and dog food on YouTube, you'll find a video of me eating dog food about 10 years ago, 12 years ago. I had just started as a coach for Tony Robbins, and I was excited to be a coach, but new coaches don't make that much money. So I was struggling to provide my family. I had a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old, and it was really challenging. And I was talking to a coach, a fellow friend, a peer of mine, and he was a coach, and all of a sudden it started turning into a coaching session, and I was struggling financially. And he's like, well, what do you need? He's like, I need to find $2,000 this week to help my family and my coaching business that I was building. Cause I work for Tony Robbins, and on the side, I had my own coaching business. I'm like, I need to find $2,000 this week. And he said, okay, find $2,000 this week. And I say, okay, done. And he said, now go to the Tony Robbins coaches team, the coaching team's Facebook page with the entire coaching team and the entire management of Tony Robbins in there, and post a video of yourself telling everybody that you're going to hit that target by the end of the week, or you're going to eat a can of dog food. I had been a coach on the team for about 6 months. Out of about 100 coaches, 120, I was one. So I was brand new. And when he did that, I went, I literally froze in my tracks. He's like, do you want the $2,000 this week? I'm like, yes. He's like, go do it. And I'm like, and the words wouldn't come out. And the brilliant coach he was, knowing that my oldest son, Dash, was 3 years old, he's like, how are you going to feel if 10 years from now, Dash is 13 and he's hanging out with his buddies after school, and his buddies say, hey, Dash, why do you live with your grandparents? And Dash says, we live with our grandparents because my dad wasn't willing to eat dog food to create financial independence for us. And when he said that, it was the biggest gut punch I've ever felt. And even though the words coming out of my mouth weren't coming out of my mouth, I said, I'm going to do it. So I said yes. And I posted the video, and I'm literally, my stomach is turning in knots. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, get a new client. Oh my God, I got one. I got 2 opportunities. Thursday, I do it. Friday, I literally closed 2 contracts for $2,500. And both of those clients said, can I pay you Monday? And it was like 5:00 on Friday. And of course I said, yes, you can pay me Monday, because I didn't want to screw up the deal by trying to force it because it was already closed. So I failed the challenge, even though I got the money. The next morning, on Saturday morning, I walk into my office, I close the door, I kind of make sure nobody's following me. And of course, there's no ketchup, there's no heated up, like straight generic liver flavor out of the can. And then I walk into that, and right before I started recording, I had this decision, I had this thought process, and I realized I wasn't doing it as a punishment. I was doing it to something disgusting because I decided to do it. And I started to eat. I got about halfway through, and I didn't realize that dog food has chunks of bones in it. You can't chew it. You have to swallow it. I got about 2/3 of the way through before I learned got what I needed. So I stopped before it started coming back up. And then what happened is that was probably February of 2014, middle of 2014, July 1, the metrics come out for all the top coaches. And the number one metric on the coaching team is whoever has the highest percentage of contract renewals. I was number one on the team out of 120 coaches, with 100% of my clients renewed. Because what happened in that moment is the part of me that thought it was okay to set a big goal and not follow through, that part of me died. And that started my journey to where I am today. And this is something that every one of us has to tackle, because it's very easy to set a big goal. It's so easy to want. What matters is when you make the decision to make it happen. That's why when I directed you to that decision at the beginning of the call, you tightened up, because that's the area for you to go through. So you can be like the average person and back down and just keep wanting forever, or you can face that growth, make the decision, and go through it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Just getting around myself now.
if you can do that, you will stand out amongst everybody. And they're just feelings. So the next time those feelings come up, my suggestion is to stop and breathe. You feel those feelings, don't do anything, just sit there for a minute or two, and they'll go away. When you avoid them, they get amplified. When you're present with it, you process it. So let's do another repeat after me. I want to help guide you to an even stronger mindset. Would you like that?
Yes, please.
Okay, so repeat after me. I take full ownership of my life and everything in it.
I take full ownership of my life and everything in it.
I am going to find a way.
I am going to find a way
to build my real estate business.
To build my real estate business.
While I have this full-time job.
While having this full-time job.
And a new family.
Even if it's difficult. Because
I'm not going to stop until I do. How's that feel?
Better.
Yeah. Lighter? Because that right there is an aligned frame. You came into this call out of alignment. That statement, we directed you to the problem. We got you in the game. The frame of alignment is I'm going to hit the target because I'm not going to stop until I do. It does because it bypasses strategy. It bypasses details. Your certainty comes from your ability to not stop. And that's one thing you can 100% control. And let's also expect that it's going to be hard and difficult. It's going to be difficult. It is. But you can do it. Let's not be one of the vast majority of the people who listen to Bigger Pockets and never do anything. Let's be one of those people that rises up and eventually writes a book and gets it published by them.
All right.
How's that?
Better. Definitely feel more aligned.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Just still, things are always spinning, but
so just you don't have to just you're still integrating. So just don't resist the need to label it.
Okay.
Because our labels are the justifications of our new reality. And oftentimes they're based on a reaction to something we don't want. So label it better. Oh my God, this is the first step in my transformation. And it feels different, new, awkward. Yeah, because you're moving through 3 decades of shit that was blocking this. And now we're getting out of the way. And of course it feels a little bit different. And you're not alone. Everybody has stuff like this. Everybody does.
Yep.
Okay. So you good?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's going to take a minute too to process, right? So you just got to do it.
Yeah.
Do great.
There's no rush. Yeah. We'll settle. Okay. You good?
Yeah.
All right, Rick. Well, thanks for coming on today.
I appreciate it, Jason. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm Jason Drees. Thank you for watching my podcast, Transform with Jason Drees. If you'd like to get your own experience of coaching, go to freeintrosession.com and we will connect you with a coach who will do that for you. And until next episode, I will see you there. Take care. Bye-bye.